Hi there. I've got Natanya Battis here with me today. She works in the Student Administrative Department, and I thought I'd ask her some questions about what she does, how does it work, get some deeper knowledge about what actually happens inside Distance Learning College. Natanya, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Good day, Jan. So I'm the Student Support Administrator. I basically work with the students emotionally, mentally and physically. I am the one that motivates them to do their assignments. I normally, when a student is enrolled, I do the welcome course the next day, the following day, welcome them to the college. Then afterwards, I give them the whole process of how it works. So if I call you, I will tell you, okay, you will receive your email with your welcome orientation guide. In that orientation guide will be your registration form, which you need to complete, send back to us, with your ID copy and your matric certificate. If a student informs you that they don't have a matric certificate, they at least need to have an equivalent certificate towards matric. So that actually qualifies the student to do the course. So once that is done, I will call the student again just to inform the student that the first set of study material will be sent out. It will take up to 5 to 7 working days. And upon receiving the study material, I advise the students to take up to 30 days to submit the assignment. That way the student don't miss out on any exam times, because we only have 2 slots for the exams. That is for June and the other one is for November. So if you take your time to submit your assignments, that means at the end of the day you're not going to qualify to write any exams.
Just to clarify, we're now talking about the NATED programs.
Yes, that is correct.
Inside Bellevue, I think there's also some short courses, there's also adult matric, but you're specifically talking about
specifically
the NATED programs. So what are all the things that I have to do if I'm studying with you so that I'll get into that first exam session?
Okay, so once you register, right, you'll receive we have 4 subjects for N4, right? So you will receive your first module, but the student won't be able to get the second module if there's an assignment or internal exam that is outstanding. So with each module, you get 2 assignments with the internal exam, right? So once you receive your study material, 30 days to submit, complete and submit back to us. And then it takes up to 5 working days to receive your subject assigned mark scripts back. So you also need to pass all your assignments, because you're not going to go to the exams if you failed an assignment, because those assignments get moderated, and at the end we do the ICAS marks. So it's 40% to qualify to write your exams at the end of the year.
You are saying assignments, so that's, when I open my study material, there's like a little short test that I do on my own with the open book. It's like homework.
Yes, so basically how the assignment works is you get your textbook, you get your study guide, and you get your 3 assignments separately, right? So then obviously you have to do it on your own, but we're also here to service you. So if you tell me, listen here Natanya, I'm struggling with question 1.1 of education, didactics, or whatever module you're busy with, you send that questions to me. What I will do is I will forward it to the lecturer. If it happens that you need to speak to the lecturer via telephonic conversation, I will then call you and transfer your call to the lecturer for him to assist you properly, so that you can understand what you're busy doing. But at the end of the day, I always inform my students, it's your choice how you do your studies. You need to advise us where you need assistance, how we can assist you, and we're here to assist you.
So you've explained assignments, you've explained how you're helping the student. You also mentioned the internal exams. How does that work?
Okay, so the internal exam is basically like an open book test, the same as you do your assignments. But the only thing is, with your external exam, you can't expect to do the same like your internal exam. So that you also submit back to us, except for when you do your external exam, that obviously you do with the Department of Education.
Okay, so I've done assignments, I've done my internal exam. I've got results for that. Does those results matter? What happens with those results?
So what happens with the results is, at the end of the day, when we start with the exam registration process, right, we send those assignments for moderation. That moderation comes back, then we have to load everything on the EDLIS system. So once everything is loaded on the EDLIS system, you get your ICAS mark, that is your end of year mark.
So that's sorry, because I think it's one of those tricky things. So the ICAS mark is the assignments I've done, the open book exams I've done with the college. It's all of those marks.
Yes,
So that's going to form part of my final result.
exactly.
That forms part, and the other part is the externally invigilated exam.
Seeing that we in distance learning college now, we don't have the thing where like a working student, they get assignments each and every day, they get tasks to do that makes up for that end of year mark, for that ICAS mark. Now seeing that we only have the assignments and internal exam we send out to the students. So all that for all your assignments you've submitted so far for each and every subject, that we moderate and that we use as your ICAS mark for the end of the year to qualify.
Do you know what percentage of my final mark consists of the ICAS mark?
That will be the 40%.
Okay, so 40% of your final mark is from actually open book tests and assignments.
Exactly.
I mean, I like this because you can do really, really well in that 40%,
Exactly.
which means you don't have to do that well in the exam.
Actually, you do. You can't just depend on that 40%.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, you think you've got that 40, you're going into the exam
Yeah.
at 40%, but now when you come to the exam, you come out with 38%. Sometimes Department of Education, they condone a mark or two for you.
Okay.
But it's not always that it happens.
Okay.
So if it happens that you get 38% in the external exam, then that 40% covers for the rest of your marks.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, you get 70% or 80% out of 100.
So you must get at least 40% in the external exam to pass.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay, question, what does it cost to write the exam? Is that included in the course fees? How often are the exams? Where will I write? Tell me a little bit more about those
Okay.
external exams.
So some of our students are inclusive students, right? That means the fees for exams is included into their monthly fees.
Okay.
And some of our students is exclusive, which means it's 1,000 Rand per subject, depending on your venue. So we've got MOUs for different venues. So if a venue, say for instance, one venue will ask us 600 Rand, the next venue will ask us 900 Rand. So that is the amount the student will have to pay in order for the college to. But the college does register the student, but your exam registration won't be processed until that payment has been made.
So you talk about exam venues. Where are these exam venues?
So we've got a list of on the registration forms, right? Where the students there's the different provinces and the different venues. We've got Springfield College venues all over. We've got IBTC Sandton, we've got IBTC Cape Town, we've got Hatfield in Pretoria.
So at what
there's
point-
quite a few venues.
At what point do I choose my exam venue?
So the moment that the exam registration process starts, we send out bulk mailers to the student with your exam registration form attached. It's the student's responsibility to fill it out, tick your venue off, your subjects off. You choose your venue where you want to run. We don't choose it for you.
Cool. Well, that's really all very interesting. I'm so glad we had this conversation. I think let's leave it there. I think you've opened up lots of new questions, which I think we can get to in another video. Yeah, Natanya, thank you very much.
Thank you.